Hey everyone, welcome to a new series of hardcore survival. Now this is a little bit something outside of my comfort zone, which is exactly why I decided to start one, and this is going to be sort of a recap of my first 100 days in hardcore. Unfortunately, I didn't do much recording, so you're going to kind of get more of a breakdown of what's kind of happened over this time, and hopefully going forward, now that you can see I have a totem in my hand, I actually have two of them. I'm probably going to be doing a little bit more recording, but this is probably going to be a mainly stream only series. So if you're interested, make sure you go ahead and hit that follow button. I'll either be doing the streams here or over on Twitch. Feel free to join the Discord and you'll get notifications for either one. So this was actually my spawn point when I originally started. The first objective here was kind of just to get a couple things together. As you can see, pretty good spawn point where you got a savanna over there on the left. You've got a badlands biome right over there in front of us. And we've got a, I think they call it a roofed forest. I don't really remember the specifics of it. Either way, this was a good place to start off at, but nothing really special for a beginning of a hardcore player. Essentially here, we just started off getting some wood, doing some mining in that cave over there. And then the next thing to do was to find a more habitable location, somewhere we could have a bit more fun. So with a few resources gathered, including a couple of bits of iron, some wood, and a boat, I jumped over the water and started doing a little bit of exploring. Whilst doing some exploring, I realized that there was a jungle biome just over here, so I thought I'd go have a little look and see what was happening. And to my surprise, I found a jungle temple. Now, the jungle temple ended up being my temporary home, and as you can see there, it's currently my home, and I've added some additions to it. My objective of this hardcore series was to get as well started up as I could, get everything that I'm going to need just to get started off. And initially, it took me about 50 days to get everything I really needed to get done. The first 10 days or so were kind of trying to set up this little dock over here, trying to find the appropriate resources I could just to get things started off. And I made a little dent in the jungle temple, added some windows, came down here and cleared things up, took the sticky pistons that were inside here, took some of the dispensers, and then started using that to my advantage. As I started off, I digged this mine and went down to the bottom and basically just started looking for as many resources as I could. When I got down here, I found some diamond, I found some iron, and then I started getting to work a little bit. Once I got some resources, I started building a melon and pumpkin farm, which actually was housed here previously, but now you're going to see is actually at the top. The next thing I wanted to do was get some villager trading going on. This was actually step 2. This actually started off a lot smaller. This was about half the size, and this actually started off as the villager breeding room. After doing the villager breeding, I realized I was running out of space really quickly, and I decided to move the villager breeding room into this room over here, and this actually became my trading hall. This trading hall was actually only about 5 villagers big about 2 days ago, but after doing some breeding and doing some trading, I decided it was best to get this whole thing started up. My very first objective when I got started in this world was to get an iron farm going, and honestly it took about 7 days to get this, 7 Minecraft days to get this actual thing set up. The main reason was because I kept trying to get the sizes right, get the mechanics right, and to be honest with you, even at this point it doesn't work all that well, but we're going to take care of it. It's given us enough iron for now, and we're going to make some changes and some adjustments later on. The next thing I wanted to do was think of another thing that I could actually get trading, and I decided that I was going to go for the old melon and pumpkin thing. Obviously being in a jungle biome, it was pretty easy to find some melons, and the next thing was to find some pumpkins, which I actually got over at the savanna biome where we started off. I wrangled some cows over from the plains biome on the left over there, brought them down and started breeding them a little bit. After getting their villager trading hall set up though, I realized that most of my food was actually going to come from golden carrots, so I decided that these guys were entirely useless, and now there's only 3 of them left. This melon and pumpkin farm is really straightforward. It's actually quite a bit smaller than it needed to be, but I could have built it a little bit bigger, but I actually started this off really early in the game, and therefore I didn't really have as much resources as I could have. But in this case, it actually gives me enough stuff as I need, and it got me just over the edge just to get enough trading done. After getting a few things set up in this room, the portal was not too far followed behind, and that was actually how I got some of my villagers over. I found out there was a village about 300 or so blocks down this way, so I started digging and made my way down there. I got my hand on some obsidian, just enough to make a portal on the other side, and lucky enough, I landed right inside of the village. When I originally arrived in this village, there was about 10 villagers here, so I wrangled a bunch of them up, put them back in the nether portal, and you know how villagers work. It took me about 3 Minecraft days to get all of them over, but eventually we did, and that's how we got our villager trading hall set up. Luckily for me, after finding this village, I also found out the villager outpost was right there, quite close to this place, which is actually how I ended up with this totem. Ooh! Ooh. Sadly though, because I ended up taking all the villagers out of here, there wasn't enough to actually start a pillager raid over here, so there was another village just over there on the left, which you'll probably see in another episode. That ended up being the main place for my pillager raids. Luckily though, these iron golems come in really handy, and about 10 of them during the raid became really handy and actually made the raid pretty easy. In addition to that, I ended up capturing one of these dudes who gave me just enough so I can get some trading done. Obviously, didn't get anything really interesting from it, but it gave me a couple little bits just to get me started. As you can imagine, the first 100 days of Minecraft is pretty grindy, and therefore I spent most of my time training with villagers, trying to get some good gear, and setting myself up for the next 100 days that I have planned. My plan over the next 100 days is going to be this. I'm going to be building my own jungle temple, quite a bit bigger than this, somewhere right in the midst of the jungle over there. So my plan is to build that up, kill the Ender Dragon, get myself an Elytra, and get myself some of the shulker boxes. Now, I'm not usually a hardcore player or someone who likes to play this kind of game. Mine is more technical, redstone Minecraft, but I thought this would be a good challenge to help myself stop dying in every instance. And considering I've gotten 100 days or so into the game so far, I'm kind of proved myself wrong in that I'm not that kind of a player anymore. So if you'd like to join me on my next 100 days of hardcore Minecraft, feel free to hit the subscribe button, follow me on Twitch, and I'll see you guys there. Bye.